basically, it dies for right now. Okay. Go back, discuss the purchase and installation of a backup power generator for the municipal building. Number 142-2014.
Mr. Chairman, I've had some discussion primarily with Supervisor Calvin. The corridor of Route 50 here, where we're at, is subject to a frequent number of brownouts. And the last power disruption, although it was related to an accident that actually caused it, caused power surges that ended up taking out some equipment. And it's been something that's been occurring rather frequently. Almost every day there's some sort of power shortage. I know Supervisor Collin backed me up because I believe she's on the same circuit and that experiences some of the same types of outages.
Well, and we used to, until we got our generator.
But she had suggested that I bring this up to the board for their discussion.
Did you check into some grants too? You were talking about that.
I was looking in, because the municipal building essentially is an emergency operations center in the event of an emergency. I was trying to research to see whether or not under Homeland Security there were some grants. There didn't seem to be any applicable, but that's not saying that there aren't, but right now I couldn't find any. Most of those are going for, it looked like most of it was for FEMA grant funding.
Okay. Now, was this backup generator you're talking about, is it powered by natural gas or diesel or what?
It would most than likely be natural gas.
Natural gas?
Yes. The small backup generator that we have in Public Works that provides power to some of the essential things is a natural gas generator.
And let me say something along those lines. Not only what it does to the equipment that you lose, the brownouts or the blowouts, but it costs the township money because we have employees that aren't able to work. And when the employees can't work, we lose money because they're being paid. So there are a lot of things that you need to look at, what it's costing the township. I think we talked about it a year ago and nothing was done. I have fortunately, or my husband and I have fortunately, not had a problem. It's like insurance. Ever since we put the generator in, I don't know whether the power is on or off. Because we have perhaps a 30-second delay at most, and then it kicks right in, and we don't even know when it's done, when the power comes back on, because it's all automatic. It's, I think we have 47.5 or 48 kilowatts. It's enough to handle our entire operation, and I recommend it for the township. We have a Generac. It's supposed to be the top of the line, and I do recommend that we look into it.
Well, more importantly than just productivity from the employees, though, it's if everybody's power goes out, sometimes they may depend on us to have be the
Right.
emergency center for people to come to if they're out during the winter or.
Right, but this building gets hit all the time.
Don, can you check into prices or what it would cost to get something like this? I mean, I think it's an idea that we need to really consider.
Well, remember, Mr. Cass mentioned too that Lawrence said they might be looking at a generator. Maybe if we worked with the other fire departments and we had 4 systems, we'd also get bid it through and get a better price because it's a bigger job.
Don, is there anything through the state with the COSTAR? I know they have a COSTAR program. They have a lot of machinery in there. Is there any generators involved in any of that?
I'm sure they do. We would just have to meet, see what our specs, our specifications are.
See if there's something that might match up with what we need.
Right. But we'll research every avenue as far as what would be the most.
Now, whenever we also had this last outage, was there a main surge protector that we have for the township?
There's one, and it bit the bullet, so we're having that replaced.
We have that replaced?
What happened?
The main surge on the primary and secondary phases took a hit, so it blew that up. Right. Which is what passed it on through all of our surge protectors and computer stations, and fortunately only one power supply we lost in the computer. But
We had a lightning strike, I think that I told you. We had a lightning strike last week. Actually, we had 2. One that came down an electric pole and followed our invisible fence for our dog into the house, and we did have, I did have to put on our main our main, what is it called, our main breakers. But the generator was installed later, and it was on another panel box or something, so it wasn't covered, and it did blow out.
Dawn, why don't you check into the cost first for the next meeting and see what you can come up with a unit that would fit our needs with a gas operated. We won't have to worry about it. Gas, we'll just take it out and run it. Okay? So you'll get back to us the next meeting. All right, number 145-2014. Consider a resolution opposing amendment to Act 13 of 2012 that would reduce the amount of or allocation of unconventional gas well impact fees to municipalities affected by gas exploration activities as recommended by Washington County Association of Township officials per their letter dated June 13th, 2014. Now I asked Dawn to pass copies around to everybody on this. Would you like to explain this a little bit to us, or Brendan? I mean,
It's kind of simple. According to the Washington County Association of Township Supervisors, if a severance tax is enacted,
the severance tax.
If the severance tax is enacted, the impact fees go away. We got $289,000, is that the figure, this year. We can't afford for that to go away. Mount Pleasant Township got $1.3 million this year in impact fees.
Yes.
My question is, too, is the fact that, how do you know, I mean, if the way Act 13 is written, if they pass the severance tax, then it does get rid of the impact fee. But you can also put it into the new severance tax that the impact fee is taken out of that severance tax. It can be put into the bill that you write. There is no bill right now that says one way or the other. I mean, if you go ahead and write a bill up in the legislature, whether it's in the House or the Senate, you can put it in that if you put a 5% tax, just use that as an example, it could be anything, that you could put it in there that you have the impact fees taken out of that 5%, just like it is now.
Well,
It could
if
be
you
either
don't
way.
agree with it, fine. You know, if we don't vote on it, fine. I simply got what you all got, with a copy of a resolution that the Washington County Association of Township Supervisors, township officials recommended that we sign and send back to them. Whatever.
What does anybody else feel about it? The other supervisors have any other comments on it?
I agree with Mrs. Cowden that if that's exactly what they're asking, then it makes sense to back that resolution. Brenda, did you read it that way, the way she explained it?
In general, yes, I see it. What's been presented here, this memorandum with the draft resolution, appears just more to be a statement of policy rather than any specific action directed at a specific law that may be under consideration. I just read it as, this is election season, and to the extent that, anything may develop in the legislature or on TV ad in the governor's race promising to do away with the status quo that municipalities, in particular Washington County, would object to that. Now to Chairman Schrader's point, there doesn't appear to be anything identified in terms of a House bill or a Senate bill that this is geared towards, other than a general statement of policy. The legislature could enact a severance tax such that more monies are raised than the impact fee and directed all to municipalities. So it's really just a statement of policy of we like what we have, which I guess in and of itself is not problematic. It's just that there is no alternative to say, well, this is actually what's on the table. This would be the impact of
Is there a yes or no there?
Well, I don't know if there really is a yes or no, because I just
There's a
don't,
real well-defined answer.
there's not a scenario such that this particular bill is being presented, and if passed, it would take all of the monies that go to the township and direct them to Harrisburg. So it's hard to give an opinion as to this, other than, we don't know what the legislature's gonna do. They may pass something that says more money's gonna go to the township in a
I
severance
think we all
tax.
agree that we want to keep the impact fee. I just don't know that this is the right resolution to do for it.
Well, it says here, it is important to note that under the language of Act 13, the current impact fee would go away if a severance tax is implemented.
And that's all the more reason why, if they did go to put a severance tax in, you would say, look, we need to put some kind of impact fee into that part of severance tax. It still comes back to the municipalities.
Whatever.
Because I think, I agree with you, Elizabeth, on the fact that we all need the impact fee because it's used for the roads and everything from the impact. I mean, it explains itself. Impact fee is the impact that we all have from it.
So I guess in sum, Supervisor Cowden, I don't see that this is, problematic and is a statement of policy that the township would like to keep receiving the monies that it's currently receiving. It's just, there really is nothing to compare it to say we would do better or we would do worse under a given scenario, because that scenario just hasn't been presented.
There hasn't been any amendment.
So your answer is you don't know. We don't know.
I don't know, because I don't know what other legislation is out there. They haven't identified it, they haven't written it.
Right, do you have a feel one way or the other?
No, I don't have no feel one way or the other.
Maybe he has his opinion here. I can see both sides of what we're saying there too. I think we need to keep the impact fee. If you want to approve it, it's not a problem with me, but I don't know that this resolution really spells it all out.
I don't think it's going to hurt us. It can help us. I don't think it can hurt us. That's all.
So I so move that we adopt that resolution requested by the County Association.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.